Hello, this is Business Tips Unscripted. If there is any business tip that I would like to share with you today, it's going to be on the question of what the greatest problem of any businessman or businesswoman could be on the business journey. I think that the greatest problem that any businessman or businesswoman could face is starting off, how to start a business. If I say that, someone else may think that starting off won't be a problem if there is enough money available, if the intending business owner has enough money at his or her disposal. But again, I would like you to consider the fact that there have been people who started off with huge amounts of money, and before long the business crashed. Whereas there have been people who started off with just a little amount of money and were able to sustain the business and achieve succession. That is, the father or the mother passes it down to the son or the daughter, and then from those ones the business is passed down to the grandson or the granddaughter, and the business continues over many generations, even though it was started with just a little amount of money. Whereas some people who started with a huge amount of money crashed before long. Therefore, the greatest problem that you may have is the lack of courage to start. The first thing you need to do is, once the vision is clear, once the dream is clear, and you are convinced in your own heart that that business, that choice of business is for you, then you need the courage to start off, regardless of the amount of money available to you, be it huge or small. Just start from somewhere. If you are traveling from Ibadan to Ilorin, for instance, regardless of how bright your the lights of your vehicle may be, it will not light up the whole stretch of the road for you. You will just see a measure of the road, and as you progress, the next stretch it's lit, and the next stretch is lit, and then you continue the journey until you get to your destination. The light will never capture the entire stretch of the road between Ibadan and Ilorin. So starting off is the greatest problem that you may have. Once you start, once you have the courage to start and you have started, the next thing that you have to do, which is very important, is to see the business space as an ever-running school, an ever-running training institute, an ever-running business seminar. Because you need to continue to learn from the things that you did right so that you can hold the lesson. Sometimes you just blunder into right, and you are impressed, you feel good that you handled that right, you handled that well. Now, you actually blundered into right, but consciously, deliberately keep the lessons so that you can continue to repeat that right pattern, that right process, that right procedure all of the time, over and over again. You don't lose that again. And you also need to pick the lessons when you made some mistakes. You did the courage to also face your mistakes and admit that you were wrong, and pick the lessons and act better next time. Regardless of how huge the tuition that you would be asked to pay to come for training in any business school may be, regardless of how the amount of money or fee that you need to pay may be, the training would be for a given period of time. It may be 4 years, 3 years, 2 years, 6 months, 3 months, whatever, 2 weeks. But after the 2 weeks, just know that your tuition has expired and you will be sent packing. You need to leave. And even if when you have gone to business schools where you pay a huge amount of money, forever there will be things that would happen on your business journey that all the business schools in the world put together have not envisaged. Your experience will be personal to you, and no school would ever envisage all of the things, all of the encounters, the experience that you would have on your business journey. So you have to be alert, and you have to be open to learning deliberately, so that every encounter that you have, you are picking some lessons from it. Every suppliers that you deal with, you are learning from your interaction, from your relationship with them. Every customer that comes in fact, if you have 20 customers in a day, you will learn 20 different lessons from your interaction with each of them in that day. So you have to be open to learn. You have to see it as a training ground, because the skills that you acquire on this business journey would also be useful to you in other spheres of your life outside the business space. So just bear it in mind that the greatest problem that you can have on the business journey is the lack of courage to start. And also bear it in mind that the next most important thing that you have to do is viewing it, seeing it, treating it as a training ground, and being open to learning and continuing to learn every day, every time. That is the way to grow on the business path. This is Business Tips Unscripted. See you again, and very soon.